Hello.
Woof.
Buonasera, Mike. Woof.
Woof. How you guys doing? You good?
I'm good.
That's so funny. Hi. Wow. We've had an interesting weekend, didn't we?
Pretty
Interesting
interesting.
weekend of rugby.
A lot of thoughts.
Yeah, a lot of thoughts. Obviously, URC. We can go straight in if you want, without warming up. What were your thoughts of the weekend generally? I suppose before we get into the game.
Oof. So, the weekend we saw some good and bad. Majority of the bad things probably this week anyway came from Zebra. The bad came from the result of Benetton, probably. I think, but anyway, at the end, it's frustrating the way Zebre ends their game, and the second half in general of Benetton. Probably that is the big two big issues. Then we have some good takeaways from both games. Fitness of some players, some ideas, some changes during the week, but let's see.
Yeah, I think in general, good for me. It was like a positive weekend. Obviously, results aside, like you said, players returning, players sort of stepping up and playing well. I think Samuel hit sort of the nail on the head. He said, "I'm surprised Zebra could compete at that level against such a tough opponent, which was star-studded, full of internationals and ex-international players as well." So I think it was net positive for me. I think this weekend, just as a general feeling,
I think so, man, because we were waiting to see the level of some players of the team on one side.
Yeah.
On the other side, we're expecting something good, probably even more than what we were thinking.
Yeah.
But I can understand Josh, how frustrated is Josh for the result as a Zebre fan, because I said frustrating and I'm putting it lightly, because still there is some good stuff to bring. And hey, for once, Gloucester won, so I'm in the Premiership Cup final. So this week,
Yes.
probably for this, everything is a little bit better.
Yeah, nice gloss for you.
Yeah, at least that, and a good Vincent because he scored. But anyway, let's jump into the Friday game. So let's start with Zebre. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah,
That.
I think both teams took a little while to warm up in the first half. I think there was a lot of sort of unforced errors by both teams, but Zebre were definitely the team that were sort of they were the better team for the vast majority of the game. It just goes to show, what getting on the wrong side of the referee or like lapses in concentration can do, and like how quickly a game can change when even if you're in the ascendancy for the vast majority of it. And I think they maybe got into their own heads a little bit. I think sort of first feeling, I was like, I feel a bit sorry for Zebre in the first half, because they didn't make it easy for themselves, right? One, and two, it wasn't made easy for them as well. So it was tough. It was a tough sort of first half watching, but I think Zebre of old would have made that into a 40-point loss. If I'm honest, right? I think they did react. They showed some heart. They showed some fire. And step by step.
In general, I think the defense was pretty good in different areas of the field. I know it's weird, the situation, how it ends with that penalty try. I'm not gonna go straight into that, but in general, the defense wasn't that bad, even because usually when it happens with Zebra was a lot of phases, and every time after a lot of phases, like plus 13 phases, plus 10 phases, the try was there, ready to eat. And this time was a little bit different. Of course, they didn't have a lot of attacking situation to develop in a better way, but I think sometimes also has to say that, for example, that juggle from Ricci in the 22 and he was defending, that was amazing on Mazza. That was amazing, because I was rewatching just now before handing, and I said, hey, I know you have to score, but sometimes you have to take away from the consistency in defense, because I think at the end it was pretty consistent in defense, and then the penalty try sucks.
Yeah,
Montemori can
Go, sorry.
build on those miss kicks, can build on that, because he nailed the first ones far away, so it's
They
gonna
were nice
bring
strikes as well, weren't they? They
yeah,
were beautiful.
another lesson there too. But I understand for the Zebra fans how they can feel.
Yeah, one thing that I really liked, and I think they picked up on it, sort of, again, like 10, 15 minutes in to the game. I think the commentator said it as well, but they were fighting to get back alive. They were fighting to get back into the defensive line very, very quickly when they're on the floor. Like they were up before the Edinburgh players were. Like every single. They just wanted that game. You could see that they wanted that game, and they worked hard for it. And like I said, I felt a bit sorry for them, because I felt like they got into their own heads. A lot of these players are very young. A lot of these players have faced adversity in the past, and it's quite easy to go to a dark place when you feel like you're not getting the rub of the green, or like you guys are frustrated at yourselves in terms of how you play. And then there were some interesting decisions on pitch from players, which probably frustrated each other. And again, but you could see how much they wanted it. Like they were getting up, they were fighting for everything. Maybe not as aggressive as the Rock, but like up in the defensive line very quickly, which was nice to see.
Yeah, a lot of mistakes by Edinburgh, but it was also for the pressure they put on by Zebra. So what sucks more that you didn't bring more than what you already had in the bag, but at least you just you won a position, you earn a position in the ladder of the URC on top of Scarlets, and now it's more interesting there, even because Sharks lost again against Stormer, so you can build on this kind of games, and man, we hope the best for the next one for them.
That's it. As long as they keep moving in the right direction, mate. Like each step of equal measure, equal distance, they'll be a solid team soon enough.
Question, Mike.
Shoot.
And now it's time for the unsung hero of the week for Zebra.
Unsung hero of the week.
Yeah, do you want me to go first? Or you gonna go first?
I can go with one is gonna be Krumov this week.
Okay, all right. Let me think of someone different.
You want? I can change.
No. It's fine. It's fine. I thought, right. I know he made a few mistakes, and this isn't for the try. I think Garcia's just he's just energy. I know he made, like I said, I know he made a few mistakes.
A pinball.
That like his tempo like suits Zebra to a T. Like the way he recycles the ball, like when it's not on, like he goes for those sniping runs, Dupont-esque, right? Like his game management is beyond a 22-year-old or 21-year-old player. Like he's very mature for his age, and he's got energy. I just love watching him play. Yeah, I like I said, he's probably not the best player on the pitch. Far from it,
but it's functional to the Zebra.
Integral to the team. Yeah, exactly that. Like, so as far as unsung hero, him, yeah, but also we could say the captain coming back in he did a good job as well, right? So
Yeah, Eduardo highlight the called up by Licata. Man, the way he was so fast to get that ball on the back of the scrum and run hard on the first, second player in defense. Really good, and it's gonna be really interesting if he's gonna be called up for the French game. So
yeah. Someone who listens to us regularly needs to pull it out of the archives because I can't remember from the top of my head. But I'm pretty sure one of our guests, one of our special appearances, spoke very, very highly of him at age grade. So I think don't quote me on this. I think it was Paul Griffin. I'll need to go back and check, but like they spoke very highly of him, didn't they? So.
and here we have Lube, of course, that wants him on a longer contract. It's always good to have some players bigger. He is always what was frustrating with Licata, those little injuries that didn't give him a lot of like continuously to play, but he is always there ready to, and that's good. That's really good. What I like of this game too was the fight in the air. Something that I highlight by 70%, he said, Mr. Coach Roselli said that. And I like at the end, they didn't talk about referee and stuff at the end. So good for them because they know how it works for Zebre. You have to do double work sometimes, said in other occasions, but let's move forward. And that I really enjoy the way Morisi spoke at the end of the press conference. So you can see there is a building on and working. Let's see, Mike. Nothing to lose, of course. Next, as just saying, is Master Away, which is really hard, not game there because they are free flow at the moment. But let's fight.
Yeah. And just to echo, I think they could have been negative, but I think, like I said, they made their own lives a little bit harder than it needed to be. So we move, right. They're going to take something out of this game. They're going to take some confidence out of a very, very good Edinburgh side. So let's keep moving forward.
Let's see what's going to happen with the Garcia, of course, because his contract has been one. Also for the big injuries he had once came back. So hopefully can change. If not, who's going to be? Maybe Garcia. Not Garcia. Lautaro Basan Veles from Rovigo, just to follow up with number 9, a Pumas number 9. Maybe it's going to be him next. Who knows? He's not playing at Rovigo. Usually, Quilon is playing more than him. But
yeah, or maybe we look at one of the ones that are overseas.
Dominguez at Phantom too, but it's not the same quality. Like Garcia seems more.
Reads the game very well. Yeah, like
yes, and strong core, strong like Fusco-esque.
Yeah,
no,
yeah, wiry.
But
speaking about wiry, Jersey. We have to talk about Jersey, right? Like he sat down Hamish Watson, like when he was already
around
dead.
the bed nearly.
Yeah. Strong man.
When is gonna be his time, Mike? I don't think it's gonna be France next week. I don't think so, honestly. For me, his game is gonna be Wales. I have this feeling, but
yeah, I honestly don't know. I think there was in the chat there was a lot of talk about who deserves it. I mean, I don't think there's a winger in Italy that deserves it more than him at the moment, but it's that uncertainty. So like the more risk adverse you are, right? And I think you have to be pretty risk adverse in Test rugby. If not, we're going to get scores like we did against New Zealand. that's the worst case, right? Like it either goes you go low risk and like low to medium reward, or you go high risk, high reward, but the other end is a humiliating defeat and it sends us back a million steps from where we are. So like, is he good enough? Probably. Is the Six Nations the right place and time to do it? Maybe. Will we see him? That's like a sadder question, unfortunately. I think I don't know. He does seem to like risks, Quesada. I think we probably will see him at some point. Yeah, I think he will. Think about who he's put in.
Yeah, because that's the big thing about this team. Like, if you wanna try some of them, what they can bring you to the team, and at the moment, Jesse brings stuff that we didn't see it. Like, it's fast, it's quick, he's agile, he's showing how to play in the air, which is another one. Of course,
Even that yellow card.
the big difference is that he doesn't have like the shoulder tackle, just to say the Pacific tackle kinda from the blind side smashing player, something that Yuan is doing, but he can do a lot of work. What?
Does Darcy Graham?
That's I know, but it compared to what is Ioane doing, that's why. Because the big thing is the dualism between them. So nobody has that. Ioane has it. If Ioane was a right wing, of course the left wing was open on that side. Because I don't think it's so easy for a player that always play on one side of the wing to play on the other one. That I think, like, you used to play in a way, used to play in that way. You need to adapt sometimes. I think maybe I'm wrong, but
No, I think you're right. I think you're right. But I
a
think
fullback is different. Fullback can go on the wing and know how to play, where to go.
yeah.
But if a wing is on this left side the line, maybe something different.
I also think a lot of the positioning is dictated by your boot as well. I think if you're a left winger, if you're a right winger, you typically want them to have a nice left boot for clearing kicks, right? You don't want the ball to stay in field, do you? So you want a nice left boot. Vice versa, if they're on the left side, you want them to have a nice right boot. And again, Jesse, like, I was really impressed, like you said, in the air. I think where he forced that yellow card was like perfect. He got up, he got tall. It was brave. You can't really ask him to do much more. For me, it's how cultured is his kick.
Just keep playing with this level, with this man. When he went to take all Boffelli the second time, when he was charging after Krumo's kick, they said, "Okay, look, that is a good work."
How comical was that kick, by the way? He plucks it out the air and just like swings a monster boot at it. And,
that is such a weird situation, right, Mike? Because you have two players out, but they were already recovering on one side, so it was like a run between, in case the ball was going straight in Jesse hand, Jesse Boffelli, and somebody else covering.
Yeah, because it was a good tackle, because he pinned him into the 22, didn't he? So
yeah,
Ioane doesn't have a boot. That's fair. It's a fair point, isn't it?
Yes. Now just thinking about boot, I remember one try with a nice kick, chip and chase by Ioane against Wales some couple of years ago, 2 years ago. I have something like that.
Left wing. I remember it. Yeah,
but
left.
Of course, it's better not to kick. Generally, Ioane, for us.
Well, here's the thing. He kicked against England, didn't he? Kicked a few times. Well, no.
Wales 2021, Luca, shout out to you.
Good stuff. Yeah.
We drink a couple of beer outside the stadium, Mike.
Oh, nice, Luca. Good to see you.
When Lucho was there, Luca with his friend, we were all there. So
good stuff. What was I going to say? I was going to say, yeah. So the one that you remember against England was where he swings his boot at it and it goes straight to Steward and they counter attack. I think they score off that kick. To be honest, that I think that's the one that you're probably remembering. But he did kick a few times. So we'll see, mate. I think there's an interesting point here if we're talking about the national team. Did you see the interview with Menoncello?
Tell me about it.
So he was saying that focus this week is
on his
skills
kick.
on
Okay, yeah.
on kicking, right? A lot of focus on kicking, and I think the expectation is that Quesada is starting to upskill some of the back three in their soft skills, right? And I think we said it before as well. Menoncello, there's a little bit more, like he's quite raw, talented. There's a lot more that he could be. He's identified his kicking as something that needs to improve for test level, and I think actually if he's saying that, the back three are probably saying exactly the same thing, right? So we'll see, my friend. I don't think Capuozzo would have done that crossfield kick if they weren't practicing kicking during training. They're just saying.
That's true. That's true too. Absolutely. And actually, I didn't watch the game from Capuozzo, but it's gonna be interesting. And before moving to the next to Benetton, I think we have to highlight something that here we are again with the selection. We start from zero again, but now we have new players in. Of course, we're gonna add the Licata and other friends, but there is Lainag too, no? So in case you want to put somebody here different than this that you can see, like Menoncello, Brexione, Capozzo, Lainag, just vote, and I'm gonna just share the link again in the chat. And don't forget to save your squad, because if not, it's not gonna be counted. And first choice 3 points, second choice 2 points, third choice if you want 1 point in our sixnation.italianrugbypodcast.com. So just a reminder to help us. Can you vote again if you change the squad? Probably yes, you can vote again, Phantom, but come on.
So if you see a squad full of liners, right, you understand.
Full of liners.
Yeah, just prop.
So many liners.
Everywhere.
Tom Lainag, Nick Lainag, 9, 10, 11. We're gonna play.
Yeah, Phantom's gonna fill them all up.
Let me see. Do you think Pani will start this week? We're gonna arrive to this, but before we have to move to Benetton, because we have some takeaways from the Benetton games. But
yeah, I was gonna say,
let's drink a couple of glasses of water, and in the meantime,
don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, drop us a follow on X, former Twitter, and follow us on Instagram and TikTok. You can listen for Fratelli D Rugby podcast on Spotify and every other platforms. We also have a group chat on WhatsApp. So message us to join the family.
Here we go with the family. It's funny, the chat. A lot of people, somebody silent, somebody really loud, somebody stubborn, somebody just laughing, somebody just insulting. No, not at all. It's funny, the chat. But let's move to Benetton.
Yeah. What were your thoughts of the Benetton game?
50% of accuracy for the entries. So let's say only if we just think the try, they score two times, and they entry 4 times in the opposite 22 in that multi-phase. So that's great, but that's not so much. Why? Because there were so many mistakes in the second half. A lot of mistakes, like knock-ons, forward passes, turnover, stuff like that. Silly falls, like not coming back after like a catch from Umagi in the hair. And for me, this game was good to see a couple of players playing well. One was Alafi. Love the way Alafi played this game.
He's so busy. He's
Man,
just a busy player, isn't he?
And on the other side, also, I like Maile and Kogenenberg for the lineouts, because they missed only one lineouts and they work well. So those two, I like the way they were ready to. Of course, then when you when you leave so many points, and it's hard to say better than that. But lesson learned there too. The second choices, second picks, the bench has to work hard to be there and to play better. What I didn't like was, I don't know, Albornoz. Albornoz was a little bit like spento. How you say spento? Like off? Yeah,
Yeah,
just say
off.
off.
He was off.
Little
Yeah.
bit off. And Umaga, you can see how he wants to play, but man, unlucky. I don't know. I don't want to see the rain because the rain was for both teams, but some silly mistakes over there. And when Umaga plays, Benetton plays better. So more than this year, more him than Albornoz, I think.
You know what I find really odd? Umaga, I thought was sensational first half. I actually thought he was unreal. It was the second half of the forced passes, like the forced missed passes. We've seen them a few times this season as well. It's not even limited to this game. Like where if we went through hands and if you trust your outside man on the 2-on-1, then chances are you might not get the try, but you're going to make yards. So for me, it was stuff like that where it feels like he doesn't trust his outside men to complete the pass or make the right decision. So he's doing too much. That for me is an issue. But when, like you said, when he's on, Benetton are the real deal. Like Benetton are amazing. What frustrated me is Prendergast got 6 minutes at the end, and we made him look like a god.
Man,
We made him look like he's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but we made him look like a god.
Easy.
Made it look easy for him.
That's the point. That's why I did the video about Prendergast, because you can see he put the first couple of phases. He put twice the player in the right spot in the free channel between defenders. Run line break, second line break, and then the assist for the try. Of course, it's easy when you have a Leinster playing like that. But
get in front for every single carry. Yeah, I mean, I know, but for me, I think that's
he didn't defend anything, 0 tackles, and that probably was something I was thinking. Okay, first action that you have, go smash him, because you can always do meters against Prendergast in attack, because when he defends, he's long. He's suffering still, and many times he's under pressure when he's been attacked. Why don't attack him with the center, with Fekitoa, with Zanon, with Drago? Attack him strongly.
Yeah. Luca made a good point as well, because I said it in real time as well. Drago, he is brilliant. Like everyone knows my feelings on him and how I think he's probably our most natural 12. But he came in and he put in some big hits with next to no ball. Like he was just doing the dirty work. And yeah, hopefully we start seeing more minutes in his legs, because we need to keep developing that kid. And if Benetton can't do it, then he needs to go elsewhere. He needs to go elsewhere. He needs to get game time, because he could be potentially really instrumental for our growth as a national side. So yeah, interesting to see sort of how he plays in the next few.
Just because you mentioned players, and a couple of people in the chat is mentioning Favretto, Christopher, and now we're gonna go through. I'm gonna just do the same question.
Now it's time for the unsung hero of the week for Treviso.
Should I start? You want me to start?
I think. Let me have a think. I'm gonna go for someone really unconventional, right?
Go.
Only because the scrums before he left weren't suffering too much, and I don't think I've ever given this man unsung hero in my life.
Oh,
you know who it is.
Man.
I thought. Hey, listen. Even like his work at the breakdown was pretty good. Like he was there on time. Like he was clearing out. He wasn't. he was busier than usual. Let me put it like that, right? Okay, being political, he was busier than usual. He was okay in the scrum. He won a couple of scrum penalties as well, right? He was net positive that game. He never gets any kudos. Pasquale, you were brilliant, mate. Well done.
Good for you. I'm going with the classic, let's say, because I was waiting him to have a big game, and he did it. He did the job of Lamaro. Number 7, with unusual red helmet, and I go with Toa, shy
Big
boy
Toa.
Alafi. I like the way he play this game. It's hard to be the Lamaro of the game, like moving the ball there, attacking, defending in that way, and I like him. I like all the players. I like Mendy in attack. It was
Oh.
brilliant. Was ready in the right moment of the game. He tried to do something else, but I'm going with Alafi. Kips is enjoying your Pasquale Award of the week.
Yeah, yeah.
And
he doesn't get the plaudits. But yeah, no, go on. And then
and then let's see, because yesterday we launch on Twitter a big generic question about some players. Mike, don't you remember that?
Yeah. I think the results are in now. Yeah.
So let's go read the results. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. And let me just open 1 second Italian Rugby Pod. So on X, sorry, I'm still on Twitter, on X.
Yeah. You don't want Elon's going to hire a SWAT team to come break into your house now.
So
How dare
yeah,
you?
we had 120 votes, and this
Nice.
was the question: who is the better test level center to play with, Menoncello for Italy?
Before you say this, by the way, I didn't vote. This was me completely impartial in this. I did not vote.
120 votes, Mike. No,
yeah,
100.
I know, but I didn't vote, right? So let's just add that to the account.
Mike, I vote. So 119.
Okay,
So between Brex and Zanon, 76% say still Brex being the best partnership in the centers for Italy with Menoncello. Of course, maybe this week we're gonna push another one between Brex and Mori. Can be interesting, no?
That'd be a good one.
Zanon, Brex, Mori. We should go there. And the other question, but that's for later, about some Luigi in and out.
Yeah, I want to quickly talk very, very quickly about the whole Zanon point. So Zanon was very good in attack. Like, kudos where kudos due. For me, it's frightening to see how easy the line was broken in his channel. This Leinster side, which in an effect, let's not to be rude to the players, but in effect is a second team Leinster, right?
Oh, absolutely. Was a second team. Come on.
Yeah. Not to be rude to second team players, right? What's it going to be like at test level against the best players in the world? Like that for me, is the answer, right? Like, you know, the same way that the best teams in the world look good against us, right? You know, there's another level. There's another level up. So for me, I want strong defensive decision making, and I would be happier having the 10 pick out the passes a la Umaga, let's be honest, right? Sometimes they won't go, sometimes they will go, but also have someone with the flexibility of being able to be playmaker. And that for me, I think is partly the reason why Brex in front. That said, because I know this is going to be an open discussion, and I know there's going to be a lot more of a discussion in a second.
Here we go already, but that's not the point, Phantom. It's not if it was asked to shoot out. You have to decide where to go defending, being flat, not closing your hips. A lot of questioning around. I sent a video in the chat about that, how he closed the space, opening another one on the other side. So Fekitoa cannot do anything, and they score on first phase of attack, Leinster, for example. Just to give you the idea there.
Not to be rude, because I think Zanon has plenty of potential. He's still very young. Drago for me is, if we're looking at long term 12, right? Like and when I say long term, I mean 2027 12. For me, Drago is the person that we should be grooming for that position. We need to be making sure that he's getting game time. He's developing his soft skills. I think he's probably, I was going to say he probably has better hands than Brex, but I don't think that's an outlandish thing. I think Drago has exceptional hands, like both passing both sides. Yeah, it's just, decision making, putting him in like awkward positions, that sort of stuff. He needs to gradually upskill to test level, and then we'll be good there. So we'll see.
We'll see. You know why, Mike? Because think about Benetton. Next year they're gonna have, of course, Luis Leinag. They have Matt Gallagher, and now the seems like the franchise. So I don't know if it's gonna be Zebre, it's gonna be Benetton. They were thinking about also Sam James, like another player that can be center, can be fullback from Sale.
Yeah, he was meant to go last year. They've renewed him for like 3 years, right?
Sounds like it was last year. The year he was moving to Benetton, and then probably they
renewed him though, so they would have to buy him out. I'm not sure about that, mate. I think it'd probably be someone else then, because they renewed him for 3 years.
Of course, let's see if Odog is going to be a Crash 13.
Yeah, mate, it's a good headache to have. It's a good headache to have. Like it goes beyond Campagnaro, Morisi. Like, do you know what I mean? Because the option, and again, no disrespect to anyone, the option under that was Benvenuti, right? So like we're talking like now we're like, we have so many players,
and they have to play. That's the only focus that we have to address in some way. We want them to see playing, because that's the only way we can say they're good, they're not good, and etc. about these players.
Do you think Drago would get game time at Zebre?
Oh yeah, of course.
Put Lukin 13 then. Is that what you're saying?
Lukin 13, but also like switching, saying maybe Drago can. Let me check 1 second. When Drago played 13, if he played.
I vaguely remember age grade that he played. I vaguely remember age grade. He played 13. Menoncello was playing 12, but Menoncello's the more natural 13. And he's the more natural 12.
He played outside center, but long time ago from the bench, and in under 20s. Yes, France, Scotland, and England. In the what time was that? 2021. He played 13 with Menoncello inside center.
Yeah, he's got better soft skills than Menoncello though. Menoncello's just more athletic.
When we speak about soft skill, of course, Menoncello is the guy. The Drago, sorry, is the guy that has more quality in the passes under pressure. Thinking too,
and his boot. Like there was I can't remember what game it was where he actually was taking grubbers through and stuff. He was brilliant. I can't remember who it was, but we haven't seen that side from Menoncello yet, whereas we know that Drago can. So yeah, be interesting. But Brogin, there's so many, aren't there?
Yeah, 27 years old. Brogin now or never. Probably is gonna be a never, sadly, because I think Brogin is a really good 12.
Brogin, is that how you pronounce it in Italian?
Brogin, yes.
Brogin. He would if a Premiership club took him in, Devoto-esque. He would have been a lovely centre to have, right?
He's good in
Only
defense.
Devoto, like.
But holy Devoto. Mike, we are 40 minutes in, so it's time to switch to the game, to Le Crunch all'Italienne.
Let's do it.
Croissant against cornetto.
Or we can go halfway in the middle and have garlic bread baguette.
That's true too. Let's move there.
Performance analysis in sport has never been easier. Longer Match is the right tool for coaches, analysts, and athletes. If you want to learn more about, please visit longermatch.com. Start analysing your games today.
Fancy
and
Ooh.
come analyzing your game with me when you have time. In general, Mike, Italy, France, Italy, sorry, France, Italy. Aldrit, that our friend Aldrit is not in the team, but it's gonna be another Italian, Marco Gazzotti, probably in the team.
Another
Italian.
Italian.
Another
Udri.
Italian.
Well, Udri was his grandparents are Italian, right? So, like,
Yes,
yeah, you're right. Another Italian's taken his place.
that's right. Let's go deep into this game.
I'll tell you what. Do we have our team selector? Let's put that up. Let's do it. Let's do it like that so everyone else can see as well.
Let me see. Oh, 25 region. Sorry, I was sure was 27. I don't remember if I saw his contract, but let's see. Let me open the.
Whilst Otto's doing that, if he's 25, Josh, where do you think? Well, where and when do you think he'll go? And do you think there is sort of more of like? Do you think Zebra are in a position where they can make more of a gamble on like a younger player? Like, for example, we're still not talking about Passarella, and we saw how much potential that boy had, like from the under 20s. I think he's playing in Serie B at the moment. He's playing Tarvisium, right?
Oh no, he actually moved to Mogliano, which is Serie A Elite.
Good.
There are gonna be some changes in Serie A Elite. Probably they're gonna keep staying in Mogliano, even if it's Vicenza is where Scalabrini is playing, but sounds like they want to go back to 10 teams in the top level of Italian leagues.
Okay. Who do you expect to go up then?
That's the point. That's the point. What they're gonna do, if they're gonna put. Who knows, Mike? Who knows? Next year is election year already. Let's say this summer started the campaign. So who knows where they got the promises? Let me post this, and so we can go through the team. Of course, we said we're missing a couple of players, Licata, Canali in the team. We still have May in the selector, but we can move it on. So here, because Eduardo asked too about this situation, Spagnolo is gonna start or is gonna be the guy from the bench, like bomb squad?
It's tough, right? Because since we've had Bisco playing, he's been our starter. Like, I don't know how he would react on the bench.
He's been probably the second most selected player with like Brex, Varney, Fischetti, always there.
Yeah, so I mean, why not? Why not? I think we can now say that Spagnolo, in every single situation we've put him in, he's stepped up. Why wouldn't we? Bearing in mind who he's going to be up against, likely, right? Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's see how Fisco would get on from the bench. Obviously, Fischetti's a very busy loose head. Like, he jackals a lot and stuff, and maybe doing that against tired players, maybe he gets a little bit more success. So why not?
So let's put it on. Spagnolo, Fischetti, Lucchesi, Nicotera. We're gonna start with Lucchesi?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
So on the right, we have the question about Ceccarelli being out of the team. So it's gonna be Zilocchi, Nocera.
Yeah.
Or Ferrari.
Yeah.
Because we didn't put Ferrari yet, but
yeah, I think it'd be risky putting Ferrari straight in it. I would personally, right, if I was Quesada, I would rather make sure that Ferrari is 100%, and then he's back for the Wales game. Wales and Scotland, having someone like that's if I was in his shoes, because we also need to ask some questions about Nocera and where he is and what he needs to work on and stuff. And I think we're in a position here where he's a very dominant defensive tackler as well, and we're sort of lacking. I think that if we're taking any sort of key learnings out of Ireland, we need to be like you said to me when I was asking, slightly more assertive in our defense. We need to be more accurate, more aggressive, and we need to be that. And Nocera is accurate and aggressive in defense. Like it's probably his strongest point, right? So
Yeah, I remember last year Sam Larner was focus on him because he was one of the best. He's a tall guy, so one of the best tackling really low. So I have to go through the thread about Nocera on Sam Larner X, and probably I'm gonna find something from last year. Was something that yes, it's true because he's really go.
6'3", isn't he? Yeah, he's 6'3". He's my height. Like he's a big old tight head.
A Sheridan.
Yeah. Hopefully, mate. Hopefully, imagine, right? Hopefully.
Yeah. He can move a little bit more the neck than Sheridan.
Have you seen? Do you see Sheridan with like the weights that he used to like?
Man, do you remember Bananas in Pajamas?
Yes, I do.
Yes, okay. You see how they are. They just move around. Sheridan is the same.
Yeah, that's so funny. That's accurate. So second rows.
Cannone Ruzza, Favretto. Zambo from the bench because he worked well as an operator in the line out. Then if you want, we can open a question about the line out of Italy because it's an issue at the moment, but of course why? Probably we know why. Some of the
I'm happy with those.
Cannone Ruzza.
Just want to double check. Yakic he's not injured, is he?
Yakic is injured at the moment. He's still coming back from the injury. That's why it's Canali in the group.
Okay, fine. So Canali would probably be the person that's put
Canali,
right?
Another Cannone style of player.
Okay, cool. Or quick question: Isaac's packed for Benetton a couple of times at lock. Do you think we might see him there? Or
man, I don't think so. We're gonna lose him more, I think. Okay. So back rower Izagor, Vincent, Lamaro. We put there. Can be Licata in the team. Can be Ferrari, or Zuliani, of course. I think, my opinion, let's bring Lamaro back at 7.
Yeah. Is this what you would say? So would you say Isaacor?
Yeah, for now Vincent. I'm saying this.
I agree. Keep it the same. Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Isaacor, Vincent, Zuliani, Lamaro, of course. Let's see when and how, but there's gonna be, of course, a Zuliani ready to enter. So, I have the idea. French plays against French teams, so Pagelot should start more than Varney.
Yeah,
at least against France should be okay. And Garbisi, the new Toulon Garbisi.
Boom.
Starting because Alan, of course, is going to be Chow Chow. So here we have only Marin to bring to the group. And of course, we're going to put Pagelot on Varney. Done. And now.
For me, they stay the same.
The conundrum.
Other way round.
Brex. Perfect. Ioane, Capozzo, Lainag.
The only other option I see here, right, if we're going to swap Menoncello and Brex, is another thing which people are going to hate, and that's put either Mori at, well, people aren't going to hate that, Mori at 12, or Marin at 12 and keep the dual playmaker. That's the only movement I see.
Okay, so if you move Marin at 12, like Menoncello goes at 13 because you have the distributor is there.
Yeah, that's the only movement, because Mori, like, for all of his athleticism, he's got the similar sort of issue as Tommy, is that his soft skills aren't as well developed because they're both very young. Which means that between the two of them, the chances of our very quick backs getting clean ball is very low. So like when you talk, and this is sort of a general, this isn't aimed at you, Otto, it's just generally sort of aimed at everyone. When you're considering, centers who you would like to play there, it's the center partnership. It's what are they going to do to affect the team? Are they good defensively? If one's good defensively, one's good offensively, does that mean that actually the offensive player can start acting on what they're seeing in attack? Like it's the balance between the two. But if neither player has very good soft skills to go and pass the ball out, then we're severely diminishing our overall attack. So there's also that to consider. So that's what I think about anyway when we're going through this.
Man, it's tough because I'm thinking like the way Quesada used to play also with not like 4 years ago, but like last year with Stade Francais, and we can arrive to the moment, but it depends if they step up really well the number 10 to play and playing with like center pair of strong carrier in the middle of the field. What is concerning about that is the fact that we're still playing a lot of not straight attack, but like playing on multi-level attack. No? So that is something different, and that's why probably the 13 is still being the second, how would you say, the second distributor,
So do you think, and this is the question for you more than anything, do you think dual physical center partnership only works if we have a ball playing 15?
I think if we can move more the ball, probably yes. But with Quesada and Stade Francais, man, the 15 was also like a
second receiver.
But more than a second receiver, was an attacking player. Just to say, it was
interesting.
So probably we can do that. Really strong on the ball, hair ball. So really strong there on the battle. But it then was a running 15 more than okay, move, organize, split axis on 10, less than that. So probably this that Silver is saying, Mori Menoncello, let's be physical. I think we're gonna see this, if it's not now, but it's gonna be development of this team is gonna bring us there in some situations. We almost try already something like that, moving Menoncello, of course, on the wing. Players that can soak in defenders and moving out in that way, you can have the Capozzo running into those big spaces, no? So
yeah,
that is.
Thank you, Daniele.
Yes, thank you, Daniele De Rossi. I'm a Lazio fan, but Daniele De Rossi this time I love him too.
yeah. What a name! What a name! Yeah,
yes,
I'm.
Yes, of course. This is the Three Red Kings on spot on.
Yeah, fingers crossed with that. I think it feels like I had this discussion with my friends the other day. It feels like with Italy, we have all the ingredients, right? We have all of the ingredients to make this beautiful dish. Right now, we just need it cooked. We just need it cooked with love, with care, with attention. We need to make sure that we're not putting too much of one ingredient in, and what we don't need is multiple chefs coming in and putting what they want in. Right now, Quesada is the brain, right? We trust him completely. Let the man cook. Let the man cook. We'll see what comes out at the
end. Mike, here we put Ioane Lainag more because for the hype of Lainag than everything. Do you think is fair to bring Lainag straight into the team and playing? Can be like the wild card.
Whether it's fair, no, I don't think it's fair. Is he good enough to? Yes, he's good enough to.
As a Quins fan, of course.
Yeah, I mean, he's not even as a Quins fan. I do think like he has the potential to be a very good player, but he's not. We don't know what he can do at test level, right? That's the thing for me. And the same reason I'm giving behind, Jerzy being thrown in, is that really fair to him? Like to be thrown in against Peno, right? He'll be playing against Peno at 14, right? Because he plays at 11. That's
Yep.
right, isn't it? Yeah. So is it fair to have Jersey having to defend one of the most prolific try-scoring machines of, the modern era, right? And then, see what happened on to Mordi in 2020 when everyone was singing his praise when he got selected, and then a few poor defensive decisions, and he's out of the national team for 3 years for him to find himself in France. Like, this is the balance that we need, because people turn on players on a pin. So is it fair on Lineart? Because there's always people typically outside of the Italian fandom that are sort of complaining about his inclusion, for people to actually point and say, oh, there we go, we told you so, right? Like, that's not fair. Like, we need to see what this player can do and gradually introduce them, or we put them in against lesser opposition, against less eyes, right? Like, as in, this is the Six Nations, the biggest rugby tournament in the world, so for me, it's is he good enough to play? Yes, he has bundles of potential. Is he going to be there in France? I'd be surprised. Will I be upset if he's there? No. Will I be nervous for him? Yes.
On form, absolutely, because he can offer a lot of stuff. He knows how to follow. Like, he's not like a standing wing. Let's say, no, the old style wing that he stays there, give me the ball, and then let's see. No, he moves a lot around the field. He is strong in the air, Mike. Probably that is something that can be really interesting, and he's a big guy. So that too. Of course, what is can be different, because even if, of course, he was already available 2 months ago, as Silver is saying, how he's going to enter into the group, how he's working. I hope it's gonna be the best for now, and then let's see in a couple of games if he's gonna stay there, and we're gonna have to play Odogu, Morime, Noncello, Laina all together.
So I watched Lineart from his Richmond days, right? And I can say without an ounce of irony, Lineart is the polar opposite of Capuozzo. Like, Capuozzo is like very agile, and he'll Lineart is an athlete. Like, he'll break the tackle, he'll run, like almost like Mordi versus Capuozzo. Like, they're different players. Lineart will run straight. He's very athletic. He's very, very good in the air. He's tall. Capuozzo's small and invasive. And it's almost like, right, okay, all of the people who are voting for Lineart, right, are almost saying, right, okay, Capuozzo's not the fit of player that we want. And I don't agree with that either, because, everyone was singing Capuozzo's praises last year, and he was smashing, like, running meters and all that jazz. We're just playing in the wrong area. So, is this recency bias because Jesse's doing really well and he deserves a shot? This is a question to you. Is it recency bias because Jesse's doing well at the moment? Or should we believe in what Capuozzo can do if we're comparing those two, right? And give him time because we know what he can do at his best because he's underperforming? Or do we just pick on form like England have? It's a loaded question, I know,
I get it. I'm thinking for next game, I'm going with Ioane. Why? Because who play in France has to play against the French team. I know they knows as our Italians abroad really well, but I like that idea. You know how they play, you know the style, you're used to that. So I would like to see that. And why I'm saying against Wales can be the Jesse game, for example, because he was really good against Rio Dyer last time they met each other. It was at the end, Rio Dyer is one of those wings that we're gonna see. He's gonna be really good against Mason Grady. Maybe they're gonna put Mason Grady against Jesse. My opinion, if Adams is not available, one of those.
Adams normally plays 14, right?
Yes. Let's see. Last time was not play. Dyer with Ospreys was playing 14. for example. That's why.
Interesting.
So those stuff where I think we can see. But on the other side, everything keeps me excited thinking about the summer, Mike. That's the point, because I'm looking the summer as a big studio that we can do on our team to understand, because we
I
don't
agree.
have the pressure to prepare for the World Cup. We don't have some pressure because it's the fucking Six Nation. So probably that is gonna be whatever. Now I'm want to see the games and the players in the field, and don't think it's gonna be time. That guy should play. That guy doesn't have to play now. In general, I see excitement and I want to understand more. Of course, if somebody fucked up the game, we have to say that. But for now, I don't think anybody did it in this way.
Josh, just on your final point, like quite simply put, test level experience. That's it. That's like, you know, the crux of it, because like that. Well, that's it, right? That's the reason, right? If we're going on adversity against putting someone in, the only reason, you know, you would probably say, well, Ioane over Jersey at the moment is Ioane's playing very, very well in France, so he deserves his spot. But also the fact that he has test experience, we know what he can do against the best teams. He's not an unknown, and he always delivers. Whereas I think it's a bit harsh putting Jersey in straight away without not knowing. But I just don't think the Six Nations or necessarily France is the right place to put him against Peno.
Silver, we're gonna play against Fiji, who else, and Japan. Somebody else in the Pacific, because we were supposed to go to the USA and Canada. Now we moved to the Pacific instead.
I think Josh said it was Fiji, Japan, and Georgia. Is that right, Josh? Or I thought Georgia was actually in the autumn.
Not official yet. The only official one was Japan, because it's already out the calendar of Japan. So
okay. Silver, do you know unofficially who it is, please, mate?
But I think, man, let's see how at the team they're gonna have the Pacific Cup this summer, the Samoa, Fiji, and company. Yeah, and Japan is the only official. So maybe there's gonna be time to have a Fiji A team, maybe like a Moana Pacifica, no, a Fijian Drua game against us. But for now, nothing is official. The question about why putting Lainag, because based on form, the right wingers, they know how to play wing at the moment. Bruno is not there. Pani is a 15. Capozzo, if we play Capozzo 15, we need to find somebody to play at 14. We don't have other 14 available, and Lainag is the only one available with Bruno to play on their wing. Then Lainag play both. But
Otto, manda Luciano the WhatsApp link in Italiano. Manda Luciano the WhatsApp link in italiano.
Luciano, aspetta, no, parlo in italiano. Luciano, questo è un podcast che molto spesso lo facciamo anche in italiano. Ci sono le chiacchiere fatte con Ceccarelli, con Giacomo Ferrari, con Riccioni. Qualche volta le ho fatte anche io da solo, ma per il resto è un Italian Rugby Podcast in English. Ecco perché parliamo in inglese, my friend. Quindi Luciano, non ti arrabbiare, stai da noi, se no vieni a parlare con me in italiano mercoledì sera su Rugby Cocciotto. Facile, mi trovi pure là me.
Boom.
That's it.
So yeah, I think for me, right, I agree with everything Otto said. Lineup is we need a very specific skill set on the right wing. People complaining about Pani. I actually think Pani is an exceptional. He again, like if we're talking about potential, he's playing well, man. Like people forget, like his first game was a last minute call up, and he didn't look that out of place at test level, right? That was how he got included, just before the World Cup. I think if you know, if we're looking at continuity, he's a young player, right? He's 21 years old, bundles of potential, has X factor with what he can do on the boot. but we have to use it, right? Like the reason people aren't saying, "Oh, Pani," it's because Garbisi's still been kicking to touch. Actually, if we maybe let him do what we know what he can do with Zebre, maybe people his stock goes up and he makes him slightly harder to drop. People sort of think, again, recency bias. If you look what he was doing with Zebre, you know, at the start of this season, back end of last season, people understand what he can do. So that's sorry of a little bit of a rant, but he's there for me. He's there or thereabouts.
I'm thinking, no, I was sorry for this silence. No, I was thinking like, okay, Capozzo, because now it's interesting what is saying Christopher about Capozzo. I didn't watch last game, for example. He played 15 this week. Last weekend he
Right.
played 15. So I don't know that. For Cambriani, we have to see how the rehab goes, a season goes for him, because if not, we saw 1-2 minutes of Cambriani in a season, and then we saw him in the Premiership, second division. Sorry, how we call it? Yeah, Premiership. So Championship. Sorry, not Premiership.
Yeah. No,
but
you're
one
right.
thing, Josh, one thing. Is a 15. Capozzi is a 15 that now is learning and to playing as a 14 that came in the field and playing as a 15. That's for me the difference between a Capozzo playing 14. He knows already how to move around the field. That's for the situation about the 14 spot empty. With Odogu, everything was going to be different.
I'm smiling like an idiot because I was just thinking to myself, has anyone thought Capozzo at 9? No? All right.
Capozzo 9. He knows what.
But yeah, let's put it back. Let's put it back at 9.
Angelo Capozzo. Ciao Varney, ciao tutti.
Man, that'd be that. But you know, for me, I think, you know, yeah, Capozzo, it is a little bit elephant in the room for the fact that, you know, we there's a dip in form, but then, you know, it happens to the best players, right? And again, like he has X factor. Is he as well balanced as what I would consider a test 15 to be? And when you're looking at like Stewart, or you're looking at, I don't know, Ramos, or you're looking at any sort of the 15s that we're playing against, is he as well balanced? Probably not. So there's always that question. But if we're in trouble and, you know, we need something to happen, we need some spark of magic, we don't have many players that can just make something out of nothing, and he is one of those players.
Sadly to say, but yes. And okay, Luciano, dai forte. Let's go, Luciano, dai, Lucia. Luciano, dici la tua squadra. Scrivimi la squadra, per favore.
Luciano.
Oh, big Lucio, Jesse as well here, putting there you see, it's funny all the situation, more than funny, sorry, it's interesting to see how it's gonna end at the end of the 2024 the season,
Dal 28.
dal 28, dal 29, dal 30, dal 28, che è il coso, dal 28. Ah, quelli là, come si chiama? Gli amici miei, quelli dal 28. Eh sì, the podcast about the Italian League, il nero, giusto? Luciano, dal 28 è quello. Dimmi, Luciano, vieni qua che stiamo al varco.
So, for me, right?
Come on, how is gonna end this game? Where are the crucial points of this game? Is the emotional situation the key factor of this game or not?
Yes, 100% yes. We need to find the right balance of wanting to beat the French and getting the right balance of aggression, and not too emotional, but we need aggression. We need to find something, right, which is going to drive us. Huh?
Chin up. Like,
just I don't know, like just fire. Like they disrespected us massively last year, and we did nothing. Right? If it was me, if I was coach, I would just start showing them clips of, some idiots going up to him and doing that, like in the home World Cup,
in the
or like
bathrooms.
it's like find of these things where you just got beaten by 60 points, right, and disrespected by some idiots, and get angry and do something about it. Now's the time for them to do it. So for me, right, it's about France are like they're like our slightly older brother, right? Do you know what I mean? Like we want to beat them, they don't want to beat us, and there's some disrespect between us. Now's our time to sort that. And for me, I would just show them everything that they were doing last year at the home World Cup in front of their home fans, and then make sure that we've put something in play. And you know what? If I was a coach, if I was Quesada, I would be blaring out just whistles, boo, like constantly in training, so they understand, because that's what's going to happen.
There's gonna
Just
be
constantly.
exactly. I think he knows how to the right nerves of the players because he's been so many years in France. So I hope he's not gonna be like tricky for him and going against him. But the emotional is there. I'm thinking some situation in the field that we have to be better. They're gonna put a lot of physicality. If they want, they don't care. They're gonna go straight, like really South African style playing. Off 9, pick and go, playing together. We don't have to leave them do that kind of game, and we have to change something in the line out in general, because the line out, as Luke Casey said, but also the data told me that we are pretty using the same style of line out. So they're gonna try to attack us in the line out. The same style like we did last season and in the Rugby World Cup. It's on the carbon copy. You say carbon copy? Carbon copy
Carbon copy.
of Bennett on the base of our line out. Not only for Rutsa, but in general, the moves, the calls seems to be close to that. But let's see.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I think if we start to frustrate them, they're smart enough to adapt their game. The question is, are we smart enough to adapt ours? And that's the thing.
Mike, we I'm thinking last year, no, more than the World Cup. Last year, we were pretty good, and then Jalibert came in, Taufi Fenua came in, and they scored a try, and everything changed in the last minutes. So we don't want that to happen. We want to put the pressure on them. And also it's probably the best situation for us because we don't have anything to lose. They are the one that should win this game, right? So the pressure is on them, but they lost already. And they, in theory, France, when they lost, they can be a little bit more not so sharp.
Well, this is what I think, right? I think if we're able to replicate the amount of pressure that we put on their scrum halves, right, and the fear factor, because I think that's something that we lack from the teams. If we're able to let them know where we are early on, right? If we put in a nice dominant hit very early in the game, make him have to think about, like darting runs and creating space on like short pops. We could potentially do something about it. But going to be interesting, mate. I think looking forward to this weekend. And guys, for you guys who are listening to us, give us a like and let us know.
Subscribe, share. And thank you for the guy that leave us 1 star on the last review on Spotify. I love you so much. This is for you. 1 kiss for 1 star.
Yeah, appreciate you. On Apple, I think it was, unless there's not
one on Apple, even better.
Yeah,
1 apple for you, 1 banana for me.
Yeah, bless them. But yeah, I was gonna say, just if you guys like what we're doing, obviously we're trying to grow the game to the English audience. That's why we're doing this little channel, just for your benefit. Just give us a share, give us a like. If you've got any WhatsApp groups with any rugby fans in, just drop the pod in. And yeah, guys, listen, appreciate your time, and Otto, leave it to you to wrap up, my friend.
Guys, see you soon. Hopefully this week on the for the game. But leggete, guardate. We are everywhere. Don't forget to put your team in the sixnation.italianrugbypodcast.com for your team. Of course, please help Phantom pushing Zan on Brex. So he's gonna be so happy this week, and we need an happy Phantom more than a sad and worried Phantom for our mental sanity. We need an happy Phantom in this life. Anyway, Mike, buonanotte and see you next time.
Buonanotte.
Forza Italia.
Grazie a tutti.
Ciao, 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 guys. Sigla.